It's the Career Seeker Show live on WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 here in the city of brotherly love. Also streaming live at phillycam.org for anyone around the world that wants to listen. And then we're also broadcasting live on the East Coast Executive Facebook page. And if you are on the Facebook fan page and you're viewing the live broadcast, you can clearly see that we have been joined by another person.
So exciting.
So with that being said, we have my dear friend and somebody that I just really admire for what she offers out here to people just in seek of career and job search information. Actually, Rita was and may still be doing some writing for Philly.com, but you can talk about that a little later, or not talk about that a little later, your choice. But nonetheless, this is the Philly career coach, Rita Friedman. How are you?
I'm great, Kenneth. I'm so excited to be here with you guys, with both of you.
Man, we are so excited to have you. So let me introduce you. This is Alberta Bertolino, super recruiter Alberta Bertolino.
You keep saying, I gotta get by myself a cake by then.
We have the world's most accommodating cameraman, Will Martin, here in the building. This is so it's an interesting show. I always say that our show is about friends and family. I've known Alberta for quite some time. I've known Will for quite some time. Tiffany Sutherland, who is not here today, is really like a little sis. I love her to death. She's a great person. I haven't known her as long as I've known Alberta and Will, but you wouldn't know it by the feelings I have about her. I miss you, Ma. So it's just a really, really family-oriented show, and I think that's kind of what happens here at Philly Cam. I know Vanessa and super intern Allison, super intern Ben, and they just do such a great job of making us feel at home when we come through the door. So, except today, they were all on a webinar.
I know. They didn't even say hello.
They kind of like blew me off. Yeah. So
okay.
I was like, I wanted to ask them if you were here. I'm like, but they don't look like she's here.
I don't know what that webinar was about. It was very, very intense.
So anyway, we have Rita Friedman in the building. What you been up to? What's going on?
Oh, I've been really good. I've been working on some really interesting new clients and just sort of hanging out for the summer. You know, while things are a little slow in job search land, it's been a really good time to just get out and meet with people and do things like this.
Now, slow for you is a different slow because I've noticed, I believe over the past week you've produced some content. I believe you've had some articles that have came out, and I'd love for you to kind of, touch base and kind of share, I guess, what you've been kind of writing about. What's been on your mind?
Yeah, well, most recent, I did an interview last week about how unpaid internships can hurt your chances for paid employment and can lower your salary long term.
Let's talk about that a little because we have a lot of listeners that are in that internship phase. So let's just talk a little bit about that. So you believe that unpaid internships can kind of, I guess, hamper your ability to probably negotiate substantial salaries or at least respectable salaries moving forward. Is that what that's based on?
Yeah, so it's a mix of things, I think. This was spurred by a new study that came out of the UK based in England and Wales. But it was a huge study of
Alberta's people.
Yeah, it is. I was just there at the beginning of June. So,
oh, cool.
Anyway.
Good time of year to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was a recent study that found it dramatically decreased not just your first salary out the gate, but several years down the road, people were still earning less money than their counterparts who had taken paid internships.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
So did you touch on any of what's in the news now, how cities and some states are going the way of making it illegal to ask that salary question? Did you touch on any of that? Because that ties right into that.
So I think it can tie in a little bit. But I don't know if they can ask whether you were paid or unpaid. But I know they can't ask what was your salary.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But we found similar things in U.S. studies in the past by NACE, the National Association of Colleges and Employers. Okay, great, yeah. My people.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to the people in NACE because NACE actually, they're in Allentown.
They're very local.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, they're local.
Right, yeah.
And I had spoke with their communications manager a couple years ago. They did a mashup
Okay.
here on Delaware Avenue.
Ah.
And it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I had a great time. So good people at NACE. So I'm glad you're familiar with them.
That's and they did a really huge study some years back that found basically the same things that this new UK study found.
Mm-hmm.
And there could be a lot of different reasons why that is. I think it has to do with when a company is bringing on unpaid interns, they're sort of treating them like free labor, but they know that they're not really committed.
Right.
And I think that when you're not getting paid for the work you're doing, even if you were really excited when you got that offer, a couple weeks in you start to feel like you're being taken advantage of and that your work isn't valued.
Right.
Which it's not.
Yeah.
You're not getting paid.
And
I think that makes the intern have less of a connection and less of an in-depth experience. And I think the company knows they're not making an investment in that person and just sort of throw some grunt work their way.
Yeah.
But I also think there's like that negotiations piece and learning how to advocate for yourself in the workforce.
Right.
And that's a big part of it. The sooner you learn to do that, the more money you make.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Yeah.
You know, you have some interesting thoughts on that. I know, just even as far as gender is concerned, we've had some conversations during the show where you spoke about, you know, people's willingness to kind of negotiate for what it is that they believe they deserve,
right, and what their expectations
unwillingness
are.
to negotiate.
And that's the theory behind the not being able to ask for salary information is because women's pay is not anywhere near what males are, and then it gets into women of color. It's a whole other. So try to start everybody out on the same playing field, and hopefully. But like you were saying, because if you start out getting paid the lowest, your next job you're still going to be lower and still lower and still lower. So and
also then you value yourself less. And if you feel like you're worth $35,000 and your friend is making $55,000. You know, you might be jealous of your friend, but that's what you feel you're worth because that's what you're being paid.
Right.
And I do think gender plays into this a lot, especially in terms of the way that we talk to people and the way we approach confrontation and negotiation.
We don't want to be thought of as too aggressive.
No, it gets so complicated.
That's right, I know.
So quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So speaking of people that are actually, I guess, in situations where they kind of need to learn how to navigate the landscape, we have some questions in the queue from some callers today.
Oh my gosh. You said. That just, it's quarter over already.
That quick, right? I
oh my gosh, I'm like, wait, I thought we were waiting for that, and there it is.
All right, so Rita, I just figured, I said, you know, we got the Philly Career Coach in the building today. We have career seekers that need questions answered. We won't leave you on an island. Myself and Alberta will chime in as well. So here's kind of how we do this game here. We play the question, but then I repeat the question because a lot of times the people that are watching that aren't listening but watching maybe on Facebook Live, they don't know the question, so we have to repeat it. So you'll hear it, I'll repeat it. AB, do you want to repeat it?
I can do that, whatever you want to do.
So I'll play it, AB will repeat it, and then we'll all try to answer it, but we'll lead with you. How's that? That's fair?
That sounds great.
All right, let's do it. Here's the first caller.
Okay, good question, Aisha. Her question was, how does she answer? Where would she like to be in 5 years? How should she go about answering that question?
I love that question because it's a trick question. And the answer is not about where you actually want to be in 5 years. The answer is not about you. This is an answer about the employer. And so a really good answer is something along the lines of, in 5 years from now, I see myself working with a group of people who I think are brilliant, where they work together really well, and we're constantly being challenged. And by giving an answer like that, it's really positive, it's pretty vague, but you're sort of telling the employer, like, hey, if you hire me, it means you're a group of brilliant people. Because that's who I want to work with.
That's right. I like that. Yeah, it's not about you.
Right.
Make it about the company. I like it.
Very good answer. All right, let's go to the next question. Let's see what we got here. I think this is Angel.
Okay, good question, Angel. Thank you. So she had an interview this past Monday, and she wants to know when the best time is to follow up.
this Monday night. Dude, right? Like, if you're really interested, you're not playing some waiting game. It's not dating. You don't have to wait a few days to show that you're really busy with other prospects. Go ahead and respond right away.
Would you suggest you do that electronically? Or?
Sure. I think it kind of depends. It depends on a lot of moving parts in there.
Okay.
But I think that you can send an immediate email to the people who you met with, send a separate email to each person with whom you met. You can even email the receptionist.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, just say thank you for the person who you did the real interview with. If you want to touch on something you talked about. And then I think you can keep that paper correspondence in your back pocket to follow up with a week or two later if you want to poke at them.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Excellent.
I like it. Yeah, no, I agree. I like how you, the double approach of emailing all of them and then separately. I like
Love
that.
it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Now we have Ashley. Let's see where we're at here.
All right. So thanks, Ashley. Look at us having somebody calling from North Carolina.
North
Love
Carolina,
it.
you got a lot of career seekers, yes.
So her question was, is there at any point, are there too many temp assignments that would be shown on your resume? And if so, is there a certain point where she should stop accepting those temp assignments?
Yes. So look, there is a point when having too many temp assignments listed on your resume starts to look really bad. You don't have to list everything you've ever done on your resume, and there might be times where, you know, you're temping and you're making money and you're doing something and then it's not going on your resume later and you're plugging that hole some other way. As for when you should stop taking temp jobs, it depends on your situation. I mean, it's better to temp than not to work.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And you gotta have money.
And you know, some temp jobs have turned permanent.
Correct.
Definitely.
So you
Correct.
don't want to.
That's what you hope for.
And sometimes you can have that conversation with your account rep or whatever their title is, your recruiter there at the agency. You can just kind of speak about the history of the relationship. I know, you know, when I've managed staffing offices, we had client companies that often took our people on perm.
We do that.
Yeah, so with that being said, if I know it's a company that's done that in the past, there's an opportunity possibly.
Yeah.
If it's one of our clients that have never taken anybody, then I probably can be honest with you and say I'd be surprised.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so,
So,
all right.
yeah.
All right, let's keep it going. What we got here?
So thank you, Christian. He wants to know how early should he start applying to jobs. Even he's going to be a junior in college. How early is?
Stay in school, Christian. Just keep going to school. Get a doctorate, Christian. Don't come out here with the wolves, Christian.
Oh gosh, you know, I'm gonna defer to you. What do you guys think about this one? When should he start?
I think it depends on what he wants to do, and what geographic location. You know, that has a lot to do with it too, because the positions might not be available. But
so you think what I'm hearing is it's kind of opportunity based. Like
correct.
if you see something that you believe is the fit,
yeah,
then you need to move on.
at least, and even if obviously you're still in school, but reach out to that company or that recruiter and let them know that eventually you want it. Yeah, because that same type of role might be available once you graduate.
Indeed,
So
right.
I don't think it's ever too early.
That's a really good point. You know, not just applying for an actual job, but doing advanced relationship building.
Exactly.
If there's a target company you love, reach out to them, tell them you love them,
Right.
start talking to them even if you're not ready, and tell them you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you are ready, you've got a connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's keep it moving. We
Right.
have another caller. Thank you so very much for reaching out to us, callers. 215-923-9776. Once again, 215-923-WPPM is the number. We might not get you on today, but next week is another week. But let's go to Malik right here.
Hey, thanks. I love that South Jersey's being represented. Malik.
Yes.
Thanks so much. So Malik's question was two-part. He wanted to know the best way to do a job search, and should he apply through the online websites of the companies or in a job search engine like Indeed?
So the best way to do a job search is strategically. There's a lot that goes into there. The three of us could talk about that for like a month.
The rest of our show.
And you know what? To Rita's point, there may not be one right answer. There may
isn't.
be many.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on so much.
Sure.
But as far as whether you should apply through the company's site or through a third party like Indeed or LinkedIn, almost always go for the company's site over that third party site. It looks better. It looks like you came there intentionally as opposed to you were looking for anything and you stumbled upon this.
Love it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving.
All right.
Nicole, it is pretty hot. It's
It
really
is.
hot.
Yes, that's right. Nicole wants to know, since it's hot out, is it okay for her to go casual to her interview?
No. Get yourself some nice clothes to wear in the heat. But really, this is a thing that's worth doing. You want to look presentable. You don't want to look. Don't wear your winter suit. Don't come in when it's like soup outside, and then you're wearing a wool suit, and you're going to come in looking crazy.
Yeah.
But find something that's appropriate. Keep
Yeah.
your shoes closed-toed. Keep your shirt with some sleeves or a little cardigan.
Right.
And if you've got to change really quickly in a coffee shop bathroom before you go into the interview,
Yes.
do that.
Yeah. And that speaks to giving yourself time in advance, like giving yourself enough time.
Yeah. Wipe that sweat off.
Right, just sweat off. All right, let's keep it moving. We got Cuetta.
Cuetta, thank you. Great question. She wants to know how tattoos affect getting a job.
I think, like everything, it depends on what job it is.
So for everybody that's not watching on Facebook, Rita has 2 sleeves all the way down her arms. She has them tatted up. She got a couple stars under her eyes.
Teardrops.
Teardrops. Rita's tatted up.
No, so look, it depends. I think tattoos are much more accepted now than they have been in the past. I think that face tattoos are still really rough. Yes. I think you want to consider your career prospects before you tattoo things on your face or your neck.
Yes.
Anywhere else,
that's your business.
I think it's your business. And I think that if you're the type of person who really loves your tattoos and you're going for a job where they don't want you to have tattoos, it's not a good fit for lots of other reasons too.
Such a good point. The cultural fit is not you.
Yeah. I had a client company, actually, you know what? Because they've kind of swapped out now. It was US Air, and they did an information session, and they said, we take no one with any visible tattoos. And there was a young lady there that had just a little heart in the corner of her eye. She's like, listen, this is all I have. And he just looked at her and said, we take no one with any visible tattoos.
Wow.
I was like, man,
she probably could have easily covered that. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's keep it going. We got 2 more questions, then we're going to check out, all right?
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay, thanks, Samantha. So Samantha's wondering, is it better to have an objective or a summary on her resume?
I'm in the summary camp.
Yes.
I think your objective is the same as everyone's objective, which is to get a job. I think this summary is much more useful to somebody who's quickly scanning the resume for useful information.
Sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't need to read an objective that you're looking for an entry-level position. It's obvious.
Or you want a chance to grow.
Or experience, or put the company name in there.
Yeah.
And then send the wrong one.
Too often.
Somebody sending it to you like, I'm looking for an opportunity as a CNA, and you're like, okay, we're a utilities company.
Exactly.
All right, let's keep it moving. This is the last one. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, Alberta, I'm interested in you sharing.
I don't know. I can repeat all that back. Hey, thanks, Tim. So he was wondering what types of skills, expertise is you know, to put that on your resume. That's generally kind of what he
Something
said,
like that. Yeah, I think that's it.
I think it depends on the role, right?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's asking what skills to list or how skilled you have to be before you list it on the resume.
Okay.
I don't know, but congratulations on your upcoming degree. And I think that you want to be able to actually do some work in it. If it's something that you're rusty on, but if someone was going to give you a great job, you could do a big refresh and stay up late a couple nights, that's fine.
Okay.
You know, like if you really know it and it's in there.
Yeah,
list it.
yeah, you definitely want to put that out there. Yeah.
Excellent answers
Yeah,
and
such
questions.
great questions. I
Great
know.
questions.
Really good
Guys.
questions.
Great
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
great answers.
Absolutely.
So, Ms. Friedman, you know, I'm listening to you answer these questions, and I understand why you truly are indeed the Philly career coach. How do our listeners get in contact with you?
You can go to my website, which is phillycareercoach.com, and you can email me. It's Rita, R-I-T-A, at phillycareercoach.com.
Excellent.
All right.
So it's another edition of the Career Seekers Show. Of course, I would like to thank all of you for listening. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much. Again, we do it every Wednesday.
Not Monday.
Every Wednesday from 4 to 5. And we do it live on WPPM 106.5 here in Philly. On behalf of Philly CAM, the Career Seekers team, Alberta Bertolino, Tiffany Sutherland, Will Martin, we'd like to thank Rita Friedman, the Philly career coach,
Thank
for
you
coming
guys.
out here
This
today.
is great.
I want to come back.
You
Yeah,
can.
oh, thank you,
Absolutely. We
definitely.
love
We're gonna have you
her.
back.
She's part of the family.
Yeah, she's part of the family. We'll
That's
have
it.
you back.
Great.
We'll definitely have you back. We'll have you hang out for the whole show. I love it. Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody once again. Next week, we will have Jody Brockington coming to speak about health and careers.
Can't wait.
That's going to be outstanding.
It's a good topic.
And possibly Kahiga Tiaga,
Come on, man.
co-founder of the ITEM Inclusive Technology Entrepreneur Movement, talking about a possible job fair being held in October.
Unbelievable. Who else does this? AB. We got Jody Brockington, Kahiga coming now. This is the Career Seekers Show. We do it every Wednesday, 4 to 5, live on 106.5 LP. I'm sorry, WPPM LP Philadelphia. Yo, Gee, is it a wrap?
It's a wrap, go.
All right, let's do it, man.
Have a great week,
We love you.
Seekers.
Yeah, we did it again.
All right. Didn't it go by fast?
It's so
That half hour
fast.
just, yeah, it's crazy.
That's
Crazy.
amazing.
Yeah, but it's just really great.
You guys
Thank
are so much fun.
Oh, thanks. We try. It's hard not to sometimes get too silly. We gotta
You
loop it
know
back
me,
in.
I'm like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
This complete silliness.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
So-
we just here to have fun, so.
Yeah, but thank you. That was really awesome. I thought that was perfect letting her answer the questions too, because that's a whole other viewpoint.
I
You
love
know?
talking. So, what's your background?
I kind of grew up